Hey, Soul Tribe. So, I am recording this message on December 4th. You will not hear this podcast until about literally a month later. I apologize. Yeah. So, I am trying to figure out how I want to go about aligning my journals, because I feel like my moods are circulating around what is going on specifically in the day and wave of what is going on currently. So I was like, dang, I really do have to figure out how I want to plan my podcast out, because I'm one of those people. I want to plan ahead of time, keep things going. However, then that means that when you hear them, then they're not necessarily going to be relevant to that particular time and date. And side note, you may hear my kid in the back. He is very well entertained, so yes, you may hear some side notes from him. However, so at first I was just going to record this as a journal, but this message is really for the women. So I wanted to say it out loud because it might resonate with somebody, it might not, I don't know. But it's just an observation of myself, just as a mom, as a woman, going through our menstrual cycles, our 28-day cycle moods, or, and also postpartum. Yeah. Because postpartum is definitely not talked about that much, and also the signs of it, I don't know, it sneaks up on you, so sometimes you don't even really know that may be a possibility of what's going on, but I just made an observation of myself. So I've been eating plant-based, but I've noticed my style of eating has been still healthy, but more on the lax side. I've been letting myself dabble in eating more meat, just because overall I was telling myself I didn't even know what side I wanted to necessarily lean on, because everything is gonna have something wrong with it, if it's not one thing, it's the other. And at some point, it's we are tired, there's salmonella in the veggies. There's just crazy stuff that is being shared all the time that really you just reach a point of, I don't give a fuck, anymore. And then you just let yourself do whatever. However, I just noticed that with the current eating habits that I have started to dabble in, around my beginning time of my menstrual cycle, my moods were very heavy. And again, that's why I said it's important on around what time and date stuff is kind of going on, so that you can kind of get a sense of where it's starting. But before, leading up to your menstrual cycle coming, you have your cravings, stuff like that. I have never, or I don't want to say never, but for the most part, I haven't been someone that gets extremely moody around getting their menstrual cycle. Typically, it is light. It's 3 days, you just have a little cramp on the first day maybe, and then after that, you forget that you're even on it. That's really how it was going for me. Well, actually, it felt just a little bit different, because after having a kid, it just feels a little weird. But overall, still not hurting a ton. But this time around, my moods were very heavy. Like, it started a few days ago, me in my moods. And it also was a full moon. And I totally missed that. I was, like, not really paying attention. But I am one of those girls that cycles around the moon cycles as well. So, I don't know. Apparently, that's what we're supposed to do. But, yeah. So anyway, I was very irritable about things. And then, I would go into myself because I'm one of those people. I spend a lot of time in my internal world more than my external. And I had just noticed that, I was just a little bit more snappy. And then when I would have encounters with people, I would, go inside myself and be like, okay, did this person even really do anything? Or, what is it, is it you? And, there were a couple times that I found myself apologizing and being like, I honestly feel like I just had, a bipolar moment. I had to say that physically, and that's just what it is. That's what it felt like. And I was like, dang, I didn't even really realize, I'm being affected by something right now because I'm just out of whack. I'm going up and down with my irritability. But okay, so I also wasn't paying attention to the fact that my cycle was supposed to come, but then when it did, that's when I was like, oh, maybe that's why I was acting like this, that, and the third, the past few days. However, as it did come, I don't know, a lot of stuff that I was lighthearted about at first, I've just been very content with how things have been going for me. I've been content with, the schedule I'm building for myself. But of course, we know, as above, so below, you have highs, you have lows, okay? But it's usually it alternates. So it's one day it's a really good high, feeling great, motivated. The next day, it might not start off so high. It's more of a cloudy day, or that's how it seems. That's kind of how your mood is. It takes a little bit to get you out of that. Or maybe you can do something that you really like and it gets you out of the mood, maybe you just go to the gym real quick and then you're like, okay, great. Now I'm back on track, because really, everything's neutral. We are the ones that give meaning to it, right? So I know my day is actually neutral, but I'm the one giving either negative, positive to it, okay? But during my cycle time, I noticed that my days were constantly starting like that, it's I'm just a little heavy today. Mentally, I feel that way. Or I wasn't really feeling my workouts, whatever. Even one day I didn't even want to go. So I didn't go. I didn't go at all. And in fact, I didn't really do too much in general. Barely even wanted to start my day with a smoothie, how I usually do. But I gave myself grace too, because I'm like, dude, it's okay. At that point, I had already had the realization, yeah, this is actually what's going on, and I just need to make peace with the whole thing. Do little stuff each day to keep carrying out your purpose. So it's even on my moody days, I did still go get a smoothie. I hung out with my son. I did stuff at home that was still beneficial to me. Probably me not going to the gym, yeah, but it's okay. I'll do it tomorrow, maybe. But yeah, so it was hard. But then even when I had the understanding of what was going on, I was still able to, tap into my alchemy and just, as I'm getting myself to do little things at a time throughout the day to still keep me balanced, like, it really did make me feel better, and since I also had realized, like, okay, everything has been heavier and understood the kind of food I've been eating, I'm like, yeah, let me turn myself back into what I'm supposed to be eating, like, even in the middle of the cycle, like, just clean it up. You've been going crazy on the meat, so let yourself make something that is plant-based today. You got to do it. So I did go to the store, got something plant-based for myself. However, it was like it's not like my healthy plant-based meal, but it's still something that's like, okay, it's in the middle of what I really want to eat, like junk food wise, but it's processed. It basically, like I'm going to eat something processed, plant-based, but that's okay. Like, you just give yourself little as you can with energy that you have, and just even making that slightest change will make a difference. And, just because I'm reflecting on this, it doesn't mean that is necessarily what happens for everyone out there. Everyone's going to be different. We're all different all the time. It's just the ability to be able to point out the differences within yourself. Like, so maybe you are somebody that can eat meat and whatever, but, maybe you didn't even notice that your cycles are very heavy, and if you are always feeling heavy, if you're feeling like how I was feeling around my cycle time, then maybe, consider like the stuff that I was reflecting on, and maybe that is an answer for you to maybe change up a couple things in your diet or, your situation of what you have going on. Just simply because, like, I have a friend who, like, I didn't even really think about it, but like, as she reflects on having her cycles, like, she been telling me, like, oh, it just depends on, how I feel on this day, and I'll have to let you know. And that's when it had really dawned on me, like, my cycles have been so light and, I've been just so carefree about them that when I started changing my eating, and I'm like, dang, my cycle is actually heavy now. Like, now I don't feel like doing anything. And, like, she says she usually has hers minimum 5 days, So, I don't know. Just, hold on, pause. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, anyway, like, maybe just consider the foods that you are intaking, and how it feels. But that's just literally like if you want to make changes with your cycle. Some people, it doesn't bother them. But I did read, I don't know if anybody is familiar with, but like the Queen of Fua book, I have that book, and that is where I first learned about like the fact that it's actually not normal for us to have periods that last more than 3 days. And that, which at first I'm like, well, how are they going to like generalize what it is or whatever. And, it also touched on the fact that your periods are supposed to align with the moon cycles, which is a very interesting perspective. And I don't have the book out in front of me right now to like dive into it. Maybe I'll like get into that book in the, like, with the book club. But, just, yeah, that book taught me a lot about just like the inner body and how our body really reacts, to things. And that's like honestly where I had started my whole like transformation of like being cautious of what I'm consuming, and I don't know, it just made me feel better. So it may be worth someone else's while to look into it. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like today is going to be just like a quick little message because my little one is ready for my attention. But yeah, I just wanted to share, kind of how my moods and things were affected by the cycle. Oh, and if I can really quickly, like just wanted to also touch on like birth control, because I feel like so many of us young girls got on birth control, around like 15, 16. And, like mine in particular, it did regulate my periods. So I had them less often. Some people didn't even have them, but, and I think that not enough of us did our research on what that really is or does to our bodies. A lot of us had like the same, reason, like, oh, I got on it because I needed to regulate my periods and stuff like that. But really, it just disturbs everything that is going on in your whole makeup. But I mean, depending on which one you got, maybe, I don't know. I didn't do much research as it pertained to ones that are not in like consumable form or like the shot. But those are the ones that I am more particularly speaking on. But I still see that it is a trend for young girls to still get it now. I don't know. That is also a hard topic. I try to squeeze that in as if I can talk about it in like 3 minutes. But I don't know. Like, you just notice a difference when you take yourself off of it and understand how to just actually learn about your body, opposed to just feeling like you need to take contraceptives, because obviously how the female body works, and we know our times of ovulation. I know like some people are just going to be like, you have unplanned pregnancies and stuff like that. I'm not going to act like that stuff doesn't happen. But that can also happen to you on birth control. Like, people even have babies when they got their tubes tied. So it's really the same concept. But I just feel like women really need to have better education for just women in general, and understanding your body and stuff like that, because there's so much that goes on with a woman's body opposed to a man's. And like, even if you talk to your partner about stuff, like just the generalization of how men are literally like the same person every day and like they all, like, when you're on social media and stuff and you see like couples talking about stuff and you look in the comments and people are like, oh, are we all dating the same guy? Like, why are guys all like this? Or why are all women like this? And it's just like funny because the women validate each other. Like, when men post something that their woman does or just whatever, because we are literally all the same. Like, everybody tries to deny it, but we operate very similar. And I don't know, I just feel like I was not educated enough, even in school, about like really being a woman and the stuff to look out for, the stuff to like, yeah, like even postpartum, like people brush over stuff, or they're just like, yeah, hormonal imbalances and stuff like that. But some people don't even understand what that is. Some people don't even know that they are imbalanced. Like, some people just think that's how they are, and, wouldn't even recognize the signs of like, oh shit, maybe this is what I got going on, But it does take work, and not everybody wants to do that work. Everybody just wants to walk around and be like, well, I'm an Aries, so that's just, fuck it, that's what we do. But personally, I do like to check myself. I do like to make sure that I'm constantly giving out. Well, I don't want to say constant because nobody's perfect, but at least if I rubbed you the wrong way, or like maybe you took something personally that I said or did, I don't mind having that open dialogue, and just getting that same understanding. Like, yeah, we both saw that incident completely different, and we just acknowledge, like, yeah, that's how you saw it, that's how I see it, and it doesn't have to be a right or wrong, but just, each person walking away from that just being more mindful for the next time, in general. So, maybe I did make that quicker, but, yeah, I just wanted to make this, a little journal sesh, and I don't know, I do feel a little uncomfortable putting it out there, but that is just me doing new things, trying new things, and making myself get uncomfortable. That is why I force myself to record or, be uncomfortable, and then I just set it out there. I plan it for the future, because if I sat here in real time and did this, I probably would not share it. So that's another reason why you're probably going to hear this episode on like July 16th of 2025, 3 p.m. I don't know, but yeah, so thanks for tuning in, and you have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, and be on the lookout for my book club episodes, because now that I am getting in the groove of those, I definitely want other people to be, those that align. That's why we are the Soul Tribe Search Party, y'all. Because if it aligns with you, you are welcome. If it does not align with you, you are also welcome to just keep walking. Doesn't matter. But I said walking, but whatever. So anyway, yeah, I started the book club because I do read a lot. I read like 4 books at one time, jump all over the place, because I'm trying to learn so much stuff, but I feel like it's important stuff as human beings, for people that really want to not only help themselves, help their loved ones. And the main way that you can do that is by helping yourself, healing yourself, doing what's important to you. And for me, that is financial literacy and also working on myself. I like to be a next level human. Okay, my son is ready for me. So yeah, the book club, tune in for the books that I will be reading, and I also be giving feedback and eventually turn it into something greater where I can help those on their journey as I am doing mine. Yes, let's get this money, y'all.